Do the Mamer Yom Tov Shel Rosh Hashanah SheChal Lihyos BeShabbos. The Rebbe said this Mamer on Leil Erev Rosh Hashanah in Tafshin Mem Gimel, and later on this Mamer together with the next Mamer Adon Olam, the Rebbe said on the day of Rosh Hashanah, uh, that was published in the year Tavshimem, in actually Tavshimem Vav Slichas, for Rosh Hashanah Tavshimem Zayin. They published these Mamorim, and these are the two Mukim Mamorim at that time. So we'll do the Maimir inside. Yom Tov Shel Rosh Hashanah SheChal Lihyos BeShabbos. So we know that the Mishnah says that when Rosh Hashanah comes out on Shabbos, and of course, Rosh Hashanah, the main mitzvah is blowing the shofar. But if it comes on Shabbos, only BeMikdash Hayu Tok'in. In the BaMikdash, they would blow the shofar. Aval loy במדינה, but in the country, in the Yerushalayim, Chutz במדינה, they would not blow the shofar. The Gemara explains over there, because the Chachamim were worried a person might carry the shofar on Shabbos, when Rosh Hashanah is on Shabbos, and he'll come to violate the Shabbos, so they took away the mitzvah. But the tzarich lahavit, so it says the Mamer, we have to understand Kimeshe Medayik Admur Hatzamach Tzedek B'Maimore Divur HaMaschil Lahavin HaTam, as the Rebbe the Tzemach Tzedek asks in his Maimer that begins with Lahavin HaTam, Haritki it seems surprising to take away such an important mitzvah of Tkiya Shofar. Haritki Shofar, he mitzvahs Asay. To blow the shofar, it's a positive mitzvah of the Torah. K'moishe Kosu, as the pasuk states, Yom Teruah Yiyalochem. It should be a day that you sound the shofar, a day of blowing. So it's a Torah mitzvah. V'heich bitlu oiso. So how could they take this away and nullify a mitzvah s of the Torah? Mishum gezeira shema yavirenu. Because they made a decree that maybe a person is not going to know how to blow the shofar and he's going to carry it for Amos and the Shusarabim. Seems to be a suspicion which is midrabbanan. They worry about it, but it's a far suspicion. But over here, the question is, how could a suspicion, a gezerah, negate and take away a Torah commandment? Now, if you would say that, okay, on Rosh Hashanah, on Shabbos, there's no shofar, but we see on Rosh Hashanah, on Shabbos, there is shofar. In the Mikdash, there is. And even more, it is to be surprised. We're surprised that the Mizeh, Mikdash Hayu Tok'in, the fact that in the Mikdash they would blow Gam Rosh Hashanah k'shechal b'Shabbos. Also on Rosh Hashanah when it came out on Shabbos. Hare Muchrach. So it's evidence from this. Shemitzvahs Tkiyas Shofar. Yes, no gam bepoil, that the mitzvah of blowing the shofar also practically in actuality exists gam b'yom tov shel Rosh Hashanah shechal Lihyos b'Shabbos. Also on Rosh Hashanah that comes out on Shabbos, because you see in the Mikdash they did blow, so it's not like there is no shofar at all. So since we need shofar, b'lama bitlu oiso b'chutz la'aretz. Why did they negate it in chutz la'aretz? Why did they take away? Why would they mevatel? Why did they take away the mitzvah of shofar in chutz la'aretz? B'afilu b'medina, even b'medina, even in Yerushalayim. All of it, because the Mishnah says, "Mikdash Hayu Tok'in b'medina." So even though this is to such an extent, not only Chustol, but also in Medina. How could they take it away because of the decree? Maybe he's going to pass it in the Rishus Harabim for Amos, maybe by violation. Seems like uh, not a reason to take away a Torah command. And further, we need to understand, because in the davening, we have the psukim, Malchis, Zichronis, and Shofros. And even when it's on Shabbos, we still say the psukim of Shofros. Also, further, we need to understand, Mashe psuk is Shofros, Emrim, Gam Rosh-השנה SheChal BeShabbos, that the verses of shofar we also say on Rosh Hashanah that comes out on Shabbos. And shofars, the psukim, come as a follow-up to the blowing of the shofar. That's why we say the blessings, that's what we say in the brachas, in the Musaf, we say the shofars as a continuation of the Tkiyah shofar. So the Agam, Shamiras Apsukim Kshura. Although the saying of these verses is tied and comes as a follow-up to blowing of the shofar. Rosh-השנה SheChal BeShabbos ein Tok'in במדינה, and Rosh Hashanah, that is on Shabbos, we do not blow in the Yerushalayim, we don't blow in Medina. But mikol mokom, Amiras Apsukim Hugam Rosh Hashanah SheChal BeShabbos. But we do say these verses of shofaris in the Amida. We say it also on Rosh Hashanah and Shabbos. But if we would say, find a reason why shofar is at all not connected to when it comes out on Shabbos, Rosh Hashanah, would be one thing. But here we see in the Mikdash they did blow. The Psuki Shofris we do. So that means that there is a connection, even though it's Shabbos, to Shofris. So how come they took away the actual shofar for exile, Shema Yavirenu? So that's the question the Rebbe brings down over here to understand why, when Rosh Hashanah is Chal b'Shabbos, did they take away the mitzvah of blowing the shofar Medina and in Chutz. So the Tzemach Tzedek explains the Mamer Hanal in the above Mamer, in the previous Mamer, the Mamer L'Hoven Atam. Api Yadua, based on what is known, that all the mitzvahs that we do, it is to be mamshich, the mitzvahs from above. But sometimes on Rosh Hashanah that comes on Shabbos, that hamshocha, because of Shabbos, is there on its own. So we don't require so much the avodah of the person. Let's look inside. So api hayadua, based on what is known, the chol hamitzvos shalonu, that all of our mitzvahs that we do, bichdei, in order, shalidei, isarusa dilatato, isarusa dilaela, through the arousal from below. When the Yid does the mitzvah, that's the way you bring the arousal from above. You bring the hamshocha from above. When a Yid does a mitzvah, he brings down the counterpart in the spiritual world, hamshocha, equal to the hamshocha of the mitzvah that he does over here. Hayu. Israel mekaimin as some mitzvahs, that is this, that the Yidden fulfill the mitzvahs ubichdei lifol al yidei zeh ha-mitzvahs shel, that is through that they will impact, influence through that the mitzvahs of above. The mitzvahs of above are done, observed, so to speak, through the mitzvahs below. We make, what's the mitzvahs above? The Rebbe explains. Hine kol ha-mitzvah shalamaylo. All the mitzvahs of above. It will explain the mitzvah, the hamshocha, the ramach evorim, ramach pikudim, are the limbs, and we're mamshich, the chayis in the evorim through the mitzvah that we do below. Hine kol ha-mitzvahs shalamaylo nasim heim al yidei sheha-odom shalamato mekaymes ha-mitzvahs. All the mitzvahs of above are made up through the person below who does the mitzvahs. Okay, Moshe Kosuv, like the Pasuk says, V'asisam oisom. So, in Pashtus, the meaning of Asisam oisom means that you should do them. You oisom, you do them, you do the mitzvahs, the Pasuk in Bahar. But the written in the Torah is without the vav, so it's this Vasisam atem, atem kisib. The writing is atem, meaning that you can translate it that you should make them, that the mitzvahs are made up, they make the mitzvahs. Or when we say also in the Zohar, brings down that Male ani aleichem, that the Eibishter says, I counted kilu asuni, as you made me, as if you made me. Made me, meaning making up the mitzvahs, is making up Hashem, making up the spheres above. As it says, Ramach pikudim, inun ramach evorim de malko b'chinazo. The 248 commandments, that's the positive commandments, they are the 248 limbs of the king. The king, meaning in Atzilus, the level of Zo, B'chinas Zo, the level of Zeir Ampin. That is the limbs, so to speak, of Hashem. So we make up those limbs as if we make them. How do we make them up? The Zo, drawing down the light from Hashem into the vessels of Zo, into the Evorim, the Malka, in the vessels of Zo. So that's to give them their energy, their oir, the oir of the kelim. And also, v'chein hagdolas hakelim, and also the increase, making the Evorim bigger, making the kelim bigger. That is through the observance, the performance of the mitzvah of the person here below in this world. The Yid, his mitzvahs bring down the light in the kelim of the Zohar. Moshe Kosuv, as the Pasuk says, Asher Yaseh Oisam ha'odom v'chai b'hem, that the person makes them, the Yid makes them, Yaseh Oisam ha'odom, the person does the mitzvahs, v'chai b'hem, and that gives the chayis with these mitzvahs. The mitzvahs shalamaylo hu davke. So how do we have the mitzvahs of above, specifically only al yidei asher yasa oisav ha'odom? The person makes them. The person makes these mitzvahs. Yasa oisav ha'odom, the mitzvahs shalamaylo that the person makes, and he brings down the chayis and the increase. The Yid's mitzvah, the mitzvah. So why are we doing mitzvahs over here? Our mitzvahs is mamshich the oir in Atzilus, in Zo, in the Evorim, the Malko, increases them. So, the mitzvah shalamayla hu davke idea, sheyasa isam ha'odom, neshama b'guf, is davke through the person doing it when he's a soul in the body. That's the way to make it up. So the Tok'in who b'mitzvah skiya shofar. So the same thing is with the mitzvah of blowing the shofar. Why, when we blow the shofar, what do we do? Shalidei Yisrael Tok'in b'shofar. Through Yidden blowing the shofar, Nase al yidei zet ki shofar shalamayla. Through this is made up the blowing of the shofar of above. So we blow the shofar here to have the Eibishter blow the shofar above, or that above there should be the shofar. Just like all mitzvahs that we do is for the purpose that the mitzvahs are done above, as the Rebbe explained, the mitzvahs of above are the Evorim, the Malchus Zoh, Hamshochas, Achayis and Zoh. Same thing is with shofar. Oh. So now we have to understand that sometimes the Hamshocha comes on its own and it doesn't require so much the involvement of the human being. Normally, the Adam is the one that is Mamshach, as the Rebbe explains. And with this, they also explain Mashakosov, the language of the Pasuk is Tiku B'chodesh Shofar. So Pashut, it means that we should blow during the month the shofar. It should really seem to say you blow the shofar b'chodesh. You don't blow the chodesh shofar. Tiku shofar b'chodesh. Why does it say tiku b'chodesh? The Baal Shem Tov explains that tiku b'chodesh means you should blow renewed shofar every year. The shofar, it's a new thing. It's known, the question of the Baal Shem Tov, the diuk, the way the pasuk is represented. So l'chayre havel Mamer tiku shofar b'chodesh. You should have said blow the shofar b'chodesh. The Baal Shem Tov explains the mashakos of tiku b'chodesh. Why does it say tiku b'chodesh b'smichus l'tiku? That b'chodesh is close to the word tiku, that blow the chodesh. Who? Ki b'chodesh koyal tiku. That the Emerson, the b'chodesh is not when, but you blow the b'chodesh. What does it mean? B'chol shana tzarich Lihyos hatkiyas b'ifon chodesh. You have to. It's a new tiku b'chodesh in a renewed way. You should blow the shofar. The b'chol shana. So the chodesh goes on the tiku. It's a renewed way that we blow it. It's not just when. It's how the tiku is. The tiku is in a way of b'chodesh, in a renewed way. The b'chol shana tzarich Lihyos hatkiyas b'ifon chodesh. Every year we have to blow the shofar in a new way. Batam also. What's the reason for this? Why new way? Ki b'chol shana mischadesh b'chinas hashofar. Because every year it's a renewal. It's a new level of shofar. And we have to bring down that new level of shofar, so we have to blow in a b'chodesh in a new way. Because every year there's a new chiddush in the shofar, and we need to accomplish that. Since all matters of above are done through the service of Yidden, as the Magid teaching, and the Rebbe, we see all Mamer, Rosh Hashanah, the Rebbe brings down from all the Rabbein, from the Baal Shem Tov, now the Magid, and we'll see it's a Machzedek already we have, so to bring down and mention on the beginning of the year, all the Nesim. So we see, so he says, Magid, like the teaching of the Rabbi Magid, the Pirush Mishnah, he translates the word in the Mishnah. It's the Dama Lemailo Mimoch. So in Pashtus, Dama Lemailo Mimoch means know what's above you. But he teaches it, the Magid teaches Dama Lemailo. No, that which is taken above is Mimoch comes from you. That the Mimoch, you are the one that are accomplishing what's going on, what goes on milmailo. Hakoil mashalumailo, the kol mashalumailo, everything that takes place above. Hakoil hu mimoch, it's all from you. So that's why the Yidden need to blow the Chodesh in a new way, because they're mamshich a new level of shofar. That way, through the Chodesh, Tiku b'Chodesh, they'll bring about the new level of shofar, this new idea, and that's why there has to be in a way of a Chiddush. So, the Rebbe explains that because we just said that everything from above comes through the Yid's shofar brings down the mile above. That's why we need to blow also b'chodesh, because it's a new. If our shofar was just that we're doing over here, there's nothing new. What do we need to know? There's nothing new. There's just the same old shofar that we're blowing. But our shofar blowing is not just doing something here. It's mamshach the shofar from above, and since the shofar above, there's a whole new hamshacha, so it needs a new chiddush shofar, because everything from above comes from below. Base. Hine k'moishu b'mitzvah tkiyah shofar the Rosh Hashanah, just as it's in the mitzvah of Rosh Hashanah, and the blowing of the shofar Rosh Hashanah shabachol shana shubei from chodesh, which takes place every year, which is in a renewed way. Al derech zeh hu b'chol ha-mitzvah, similar to this, is it by all mitzvahs. Not all mitzvahs have to be done in a renewed way, not only the shofar. Mamer Aval, as our sages of blessed memory say, that the chol yom yiu beinecho kechadoshim, that every day they should be to you like new. Meaning, the shofar is new, but there's also all mitzvahs. You got to do them as if new. And the other level, even not only kechadoshim, but you say to mizu, chadoshim mamish, should be actually new. Kol yom yiu beinecho chadoshim, not kachadoshim. So, why are we saying tiku b'chodesh shofar is the tefillin should be b'chodesh, everything? Why is shofar? Elo shebetkiya shofar, but by blowing the shofar mikiv onshi mitzvah klolis hakol hashana, since it's a general mitzvah for a whole year, bidu atam al ma shenikra b'shem Rosh Hashanah. This, what happens at Rosh Hashanah, is a general. That's why. Why do we call it Rosh Hashanah v'lo tchilas Hashanah? Not the beginning of the year, but the head of the year. The head includes everything. It's not just the first. Tchilah would mean it's the first day, but here the head includes everything. So, lifishu ha'rosh ha'koilo kol yimei Hashanah, because that's the head. The head includes in it all days of the year, just like the energy of the whole body is included in the head. So then, this idea that there's a new oil, because it's a general inyan zehu b'yeser se'ois, this concept of it's a chiddush, a new, is with more force than all other mitzvahs. The yesh loymar. So it's not only that it's mentioned over here because it's a more general mitzvah and because it includes everything, but this is actually the koyach to do all the mitzvahs in a way of chiddush. Yesh loymar, the inyan zeh, this idea that there is a renewal when we blow the shofar with a renewed way, that's the root that from this it extends that all the mitzvahs that we do all year round should be new. That staka comes from this tikkun b'chodesh, from the renewed shofar blowing, brings about that's the root from which it extends to all year, that we should do all mitzvahs in a renewed way. The hine mitzvahs ki shofar b'Rosh Hashanah in Yonah explains this, because the mitzvah ki shofar Rosh Hashanah in Yonah hu shetamlichuni aleichem, that's make me a king, the Rosh Hashanah shofar to make me a king over you. Umekivon the oifen ha mitzvahs Ulifi ha'ofen the tamlichuni aleichem. So we make the Eibishter a king, but the Eibishter that the mitzvahs, the way the mitzvahs are going to be, the commandments are going to come. That depends how we make Hashem our king. If we make Hashem our king in a profound, in a strong way, the mitzvahs are stronger. If we make him not such a strong, then it's so. All the mitzvahs we do all year hinge on the tamlichuni aleichem, how we do it on Rosh Hashanah. If on the shofar we blow it in a way of b'chodesh, and that is the tamlichuni aleichem, so then the mitzvahs are kechadashim all year. The mitzvahs give Rosh Hashanah tamlichuni aleichem. We keep on the oifen ha-mitzvahs hu lifi ha-oifen tamlichuni aleichem. Since the way the mitzvahs result, they result the way we accepted the Eibishter King. That's the kind of mitzvahs we get. Why is that? So Kimuvim and Mamer Azal, as understood from the saying of our sages of blessed memory, Kablu Malchusi Techila. First, you accept my kingdom, Ba'achar kach exile alechem gzeres, and then I will make on you decrees, which means first we need to be tamlichuni, and then so the decrees hinge on the way we made the Eibishter a king. Tok'in al yidei shetkiyas shofar hu b'ofen chodesh. Through the tkiyas shofar being b'ofen chodesh, which brings about a greater level of tamlichuni, naase kein b'chol ha-mitzvahs, so that all mitzvahs are kichadashim. Through the blowing tiku b'chodesh in a way that sort of, so to speak, brings a renewal in the Eibishter's malchus. Tamlichuni aleichem. B'zeh shehu yizborich melech al Yisrael. This malchus, that the fact that the Eibishter is a king over Yidden tamlichuni aleichem, that specifically as the king is a king over Yidden tamlichuni aleichem. Also, so we're making a whole new level of malchus over here, in the malchus that's over the Yidden, and also through the Yidden it becomes Melech HaOlam Kulei, the malchus al Kol Ha'olamis, which is not just on its own. This is also through the davening. We say the bakosh through Yidden, the Gamze Nase Al Yidei Ubishvul Yisrael. This is accomplished through and because of Yidden, Shakadosh Baruch Hu, Memale as Bakoshes Yisrael, the Eibishter fulfills the request of the Yidden. Be king over the world with your glory. We're asking Hashem for the world. When we say on the world, when we say Meloich Aloilam Kuloi, so this in the Olam Kuloi, Nichlalim Kol Olam is Kulam. This includes all the worlds, the spiritual worlds. That's a Bechol Rosh Hashanah Nimshach Hayis Chodesh Bechol Seder Ishtalshlos. Every Rosh Hashanah, there's a new energy, a new vitality. That in all of Seder Ishtalshlos, the whole Seder Ishtalshlos of the creation, Chayis Chodesh Eloi Hoya Adayim Olam, a new energy, a new vitality was never yet there. It's a Chodesh. And makes up, this is the Malchus, the new, through the Shofar. Alter Rebbe writes in the Geras HaKodesh, the new Chayis that never was there. And this level, that renewed level in the Malchus that we created on Rosh Hashanah is nimshach achar kach, then it extends later on, gam b'chol yimei Hashana, all days of the year to follow. Al yidei Yud Beis Rosh Chodoshim, you have the 12-month, the Rosh Chodesh. So from Rosh Hashanah to Rosh Chodesh each month, Kimavur Barucha, the Sefer HaTeres Rosh L'Admor Emtzoi, as explained at length in the Sefer HaTeres Rosh to the Mittler Rebbe. So now you see he's mentioning already Middle Rebbe as well. So when Baal Shem Tov, the Rebbe Magid, the Alter Rebbe, the Tzemach Tzedek now, he says from Ateres Reish, from the Middle Rebbe, and Al Derech Zeh, Ugam b'mitzvos. And similar is also to the mitzvahs. This is the Chayis that comes in Malchus, the new level of Malchus. Similar mitzvahs, this renewal that mitzvahs have, B'chol Yom Chad Chol Chadash renew, B'meshach Kol Hashanah comes for the whole year. Nimshechu mat chidush the Tkiyah Shofar Sheb Rosh Hashanah that extends from that chidush of Tkiyah Shofar Rosh Hashanah all year the mitzvahs. So that's why the pasuk says Tiku B'chodesh Shofar singles out Rosh Hashanah chidush, even though the Rebbe said all mitzvahs are chidush, but all the mitzvahs that we do them in a way chadashim comes from the chidush of Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah creates the chidush in the Tamlichuni Aleichem, which brings about the chidush in the mitzvahs because kablu malchusi v'ach kablu gzerois, the Eibishter's kingdom. Then he gives the mitzvahs, and the mitzvahs come in a new way, the new level of malchus, a new level of chidush and mitzvah kol yom b'necho kechadash. And now this the Rebbe uses as a introduction to explain, since we know what the shofar, the chidush of shofar needs to do, we will understand now why in Rosh Hashanah SheChal BeShabbos that is necessary, because those hamshachas are done on their own, as the Rebbe will continue to explain.